Hello students, welcome to Power Tutorials. So in this video we are going to cover Maths Class 10, that is of Andhra Pradesh SSC, that is Class 10 board exam paper. Secondary school certificate model paper solution. We're going to do this in video because the main exam is coming near, so it's always better to solve sample paper or model paper whichever the board exam is given. Okay, so because they will be at least 80 to 90%, the pattern will be exactly similar and pattern will be 100% similar, but the questions can also be little similar with respect to the model paper. Okay, because even the CBSE board also provided sample paper and they can see that the question pattern or the level of the questions is almost same with respect to model paper. Okay, so always, not only for this, for your next exams, and if you're going to future MPC, BPC, whatever it is. So before going to the main exam, always make sure to practice previous year questions or sample paper questions, because those are very important for scoring good exam. Okay, let's start with. So whoever if you are started joining this video, and if you want the solution of CBSE board paper, because both AP as well as the other state boards of CBSE board also following the same NCERT textbooks, so those are also exactly similar. So if you want to practice little, I can say the difficulty level is not that much different when compared to AP SSC or CBSE board exam. So if you have time and if you want to explore, you can also check my CBSE board paper solution. There also the questions, I mean the topics are exactly similar, but the questions can vary, the difficulty can vary from moderate to high. But whereas for AP SSC, I have found that the difficulty level is only 20% is the difficulty level, and most of the part is moderate and few are little easy as well. Okay, but if you want to practice, you can. I always suggest you to check CBSE board exam solution as well. That is also mentioned in my channel live section. So there you can find the solution for each section of CBSE board paper which has happened recently. Okay, so let's start with the video. So this is the marking pattern which I have mentioned in the model paper, and this will be exactly same with respect to the board exam. So what they have clearly mentioned, so it's not like we cannot neglect any chapter, because each chapter weightage is at least 7 marks. Okay, so if you see here, the weightage of real numbers is 9 marks. The weightage of real numbers is 9 marks. The weightage of polynomials is 8. Pair and linear equations into pair of linear equations it should be. Okay, it's not parent. Pair of linear equations into two variables is 8 to 9 marks. And then quadratic equation 7 marks. Arithmetic progression 13 marks. Triangles 11, 10, 7. So in this way, if you notice, from each chapter at least 7 is a weightage. Okay, so do not neglect any chapter, because at least 7 marks if you will go off if you neglect any chapter. Okay, always make sure to practice all the chapters, and if you have, and most of the chapters I also have mentioned few previous year questions of CBSE board, that is also same NCERT textbook, so you can also refer to there for more practice questions. Okay, and this is a point we are talking about. They have clearly mentioned the difficulty level, I mean the highest difficulty questions will be only 20% of weightage. Average questions the weightage is more, which is 40%, and easy questions also the weightage is more, which is 40%. So if you feel that if you are scoring less in your pre-finals or the practice exams in your school, so just understand that the difficulty level will be only 20%, and the moderate to easy to moderate will be 80%. Okay, so if you are able to focus concepts on at least easy to moderate, then definitely you will score at least 70 to 80% of marks. Okay, but if you are targeting for 100 marks, make sure to practice a little more, so that the difficulty questions will be only 20%. And in this paper I am going to solve all the questions with respect to the options, so there will definitely be practice for your main exam, board exam. Okay, and the pattern is simple, that we have section A, B, C and D as well. I think A, B, C only. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, we'll go one by one. So in the section 1 we have total 12 questions and each carries 1 mark. Okay, so it's not like MCQs or fill in the blanks. It's a combination of 3 different types, that it can be MCQs, it can be assessed reason, it can be single line question where the answer will be very short, within 1 line or 2 lines we should able to solve them. Okay, so don't feel that every question is MCQs in this board exam, because it's not MCQs. Only I think hardly 3 or 4 are MCQs, rest all are direct 1 mark questions, or even one SSC reason question is also there. Okay, let's solve answer. Let's start with the first one. So before that, I'll just post in the chat so that it can reach to more people. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Two positive integers a and b are written as a is equal to p cubed. Okay, I'll write in little big. A is p cube q square and b is p q cube. Okay, where p are prime numbers, find the HCF. This is the exact question from textbook. So here they have provided two terms and p and q are the prime numbers. They are asking HCF. So for HCF of the answer is nothing but whichever is common for these two. So what is common here? P is common and q square is common. So the answer is p q square, which is B. So why I am saying only p is common? So because p cube I can write it as p into p and q square I can also write it as q into q. Same as for the second term, it is p into q into q into q. So how many are common? You have one p as common, and how many q's are common? Two q's are common. Hence the answer is p into q square. Okay, for the same question, if they ask for LCM, for this question it is answer is this one, but I am also explaining LCM because maybe in the main exam they can ask you LCM instead of HCF. Okay, so if it is LCM, then the answer is p cube q cube, because LCM is a product of highest power of common prime factors. Okay, but here in this question they have asked HCF, so the answer is p q square. If they ask for LCM, the answer is p cube q cube, because highest of p is p cube and highest of q is q cube. Okay, second one, the coefficient of x in p of x. So this is a direct question, so I can say this belongs to the easiest model, where the coefficient of x means the number which is adjacent to x, which is plus 5. So C is the right answer. Hope it is clear till here. Can you let me know if you have any doubts in the live section? And whoever are watching this video later, they can also comment in the comment section. I'll definitely check and respond to you. Okay, let's move on to the third one. Write a polynomial of degree 4 having constant term of minus 6. So polynomial of degree minus 4 means the highest power of x should be 4. So I can simply write x power 4 minus 6 is the answer. Why? Because the x cube, x square, x, these are not mandatory to have it. The only thing is the degree should be 4. So this is a degree is 4, constant term is minus 6. So this is one of the answers. It's not like this is the only answer. You can also have the other answers as 3x power 4 minus 2x square minus 6. This is also correct. 3x power 4 plus 5x cube minus 6x square plus 8x minus 6. This is also correct. You cannot any answers because they are just asking to write a polynomial where the degree should be 4. So this is a polynomial where the highest degree of x is 4 and it is having the constant term of minus 6. So these two terms are important. This term and this term and this term and this term. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Fourth question. Create a linear equation which is parallel to the given line. Okay, so parallel to the line is 2x plus 3y plus 8 is equal to 0. So what is the condition for parallel lines? The condition for parallel lines is a1 by a2 should be equal to b1 by b2 and should not be equal to c1 by c2. Okay, so for this I'll simply multiply this 2 into 2 so that this new equation becomes 4x plus 6y plus 8 is equal to 0 is the answer. This is one of the answers, not like this is the only answer. Why? Because so a1 by a2, so 2 by 4 is equal to 3 by 6 is not equal to 8 by 8. 2 by 4 is 1 by 2, 3 by 6 is also 1 by 2 is not equal to 8 by 8, which is 1. Hence this is one of the answer for parallels, A1 by 2 should be equal to B1 by 2 should not be equal to C1 by C2, whereas for intersecting lines, A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2, whereas for coincident line, if they ask you in the same question, you have to say that A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. Okay. Hope so. One question will be coming for sure in your main exam. They can ask you for parallel, they can ask you for coincident. This is for coincident, and this is they can ask you for intersecting. Any one will be coming for sure, and this will be for one mark question. Okay. Let's move to the next one. 4 is a common difference of the AP. Yes, it is correct, because the common difference is nothing but the difference between any two terms. If just 9 minus 5 is 4, 13 minus 9 is also 4. So this is true. Common difference is an minus n. Yes, this is also true, and this is a correct reason. So both are true, and R is a correct explanation of A. So this is assertion reason type of question, where we'll be having two statements, assertion and reason. Assertion, they will give you statement, and reason they will tell you how the A is correct or how the A is functionality. Okay, let's move to the sixth one. In the adjacent figure, AD is equal to 2 centimeters, BD is equal to 4 centimeters, AE is equal to 5 centimeters, and EC they are asking. EC is this one. Okay, so simply I have to use the basic proportionality theorem. So AD by BD is equal to AE by EC. So AD is how much? 2, BD is 4, AE is 5, EC we need to find, which is x. So I'll write 2 1s 2 2s. Simply x is equal to, if I move x to the left side and 2 to the right side, becomes 5 into 2, which is 10 centimeters. So B is the right answer. Okay, let's move to the seventh one. Which trigonometric ratio is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse? So this is also very important. This type of question will be coming again for sure. Okay, adjacent to opposite, adjacent to hypotenuse is nothing but cos theta. Okay, so for that will also write for other options. For sin theta, it should be opposite by hypotenuse, whereas tan, it should be opposite by adjacent. What about cot? It should be adjacent by opposite. Okay, so make sure to practice all this. Sin opposite by hypotenuse, cos adjacent by hypotenuse, tan opposite by adjacent, and cot adjacent by opposite. Okay, next move to the 8th question. That is true. Why? Because angle of elevation is as a horizontal. This is angle of elevation. What about angle of depression? It will be like this. Okay, both are taken with respect to horizontal, hence the answer is true. Okay, next one. Surface area of hemisphere having radius r, the answer is 3 pi r square. Whenever this is surface area, they are talking about total surface area. Okay, same thing if they ask you only CSA, that is curved surface area, the answer is 2 pi r square. And if they ask you CSA or SA or TSA, the answer is 3 pi r square, because it should be CSA plus the bottom, which is pi r square. Okay. 10th one, P of E plus P of E, but the answer is again 1. This is also easiest question I can say, because the probability of hole, that is win plus loss, is always equal to 1. Next, 11th one, create a geometrical design involving two tangents drawn from external point to a circle. Okay, so let's draw first. They're asking geometrical design, so make sure to use scale and pencil to draw this to answer this type of question. And I always suggest to, for if you are using geometry box, that is okay. If not, also at least have a coin with you, like 1 rupee or 2 rupee coin, because for circle type of question you can usually solve them. Okay. So I'm using a tool, so definitely it will give me a proper circle. But in your case, I suggest you to use coin to just use a pencil and draw the outside of the coin. You'll get a proper circle. Okay. So we have a point here, and now they're asking two tangents from external point. So this is external point P, and two tangents. I'll just draw it. This is one tangent, and this is another tangent. Always remember the tangent should only touch the circle at one point. It should not intersect in between. Okay, so this is point number 1. I will write it as Q. This is point number 2. I will write it as R. If they ask you, you can also mark this as O. O is center. So just write that P external point Q and R are points on circle, and PQ comma PR are tangents. Okay, next move to the next one. So this is the last question from section A, that is one more question. Form a quadratic equation which has one of its roots. Okay, so I can consider, so it is something like this: x minus 1 is one of the root, and the second equation, second root we don't know, I'm using it as 2. Okay, then just multiply these two, will get x square minus x minus 2x plus 2. Hence one of the solution is x square minus 3x plus 2 is the one of the answer. I don't say this is the only answer, this is one of the answer. Why? Because they are saying that one root is 1. They are not saying about other root. It can be 1 or any number. So I am using the other number as 2. Okay. So let's move to the section B now. So I can say that I took around 20 minutes to solve it. But in your main exam, it's okay to take 20 to 25 minutes, I can say, for section 1, because these are easy, and if you should not make any minor mistakes while solving this. Okay, let's move to the second one. So in the sections 2, we can see that there are total 8 questions, and each question is of 2 marks, and the total weightage is around 16 marks. Okay, let's solve one by one. And here also we don't have any option, we have to solve each question, and each question will carry 2 marks. Create a quadratic polynomial whose sum and product of the zeros are mentioned. So for this type of quadratic polynomial where sum and products are mentioned, the answer standard equation is x square minus of sum of zeros into x plus product of zeros. Okay, so simply substitute the values. It is x square minus sum is 3x plus product of zeros I mentioned as minus 2, so which is the final answer is x square minus 3x minus 2 is the quadratic polynomial. And repeating again, when this type of question is mentioned, find a quadratic polynomial using sum and product, then this is the equation: x square minus of sum of zeros into x plus product of zeros. So sum they have mentioned 3, so I have just substituted sum as 3, and product they have mentioned minus 2, substituted here. So we got the quadratic polynomial, which is x square minus 3x plus minus 2, where sum is 3 and product is minus 2. Okay, next move to 14th. Find the value of k if both the roots of this quadratic equation are 0. So both the roots are equal, then d is 0. D is nothing but b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So what is abc values? Let me write it first. A is equal to 2, b is equal to k, and c is a constant, which is 3. Okay, so b square, so it is k square minus 4 into a value is 2, c value is 3 is equal to 0. So k square minus 4 2 is 8, 8 3 is 24 is equal to 0. So k is equal to root of 24. If I take 24 as 4 into 6, I can write this as 2 root of 6. Okay, so I got the k value as 2 root of 6. Let's move to the next one. So always remember, for values of k to be equal, the d is 0. For the same question, if they can also ask you when the roots are real and distinct, then it will be d greater than 0, and if it is roots are not real, then d will be less than 0. Okay, this is for real and distinct, and this is for not real. So in the main exam they can change the question stating that the roots are not real, then what is the condition? Then roots are distinct, then what is the condition? So this is the condition for roots are distinct, this is the condition for roots are not real. Okay, but for this question the answer is 2 root 6. Okay, let's move to the 15th. State SAS algorithm criteria of insimilarity of triangles. So okay, triangles diagram they haven't mentioned, so it should be that when two sides of one triangle are proportional to the other two sides, or to the two sides of another triangle, and the included angle is equal. Then the triangles are similar. Okay, so for example I will say that if I have a triangle ABC, and if I have another triangle PQR, so here if AB by PQ is equal to AC by PR and angle A is equal to angle P, then the triangles are similar using SAS criteria. Okay, let's move to the next one. You can say this belongs to difficulty question, or I can say moderate question. Okay, if tan of a plus b is root 3. Okay, so which angle of tan is root 3? 60 degrees. Which angle of tan is 1 by root 3? 30 degrees. We have clearly mentioned sum of a plus b should be less than or equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so we should not consider greater than 90 degrees. So just add these two, I will get 2a is equal to 60 plus 30 is 90 degrees. So the a value is nothing but 45 degrees. They are asking only a, so the answer is 45. The same question they can also ask what is b value, then the b value will become 60 minus 45, then the b value is nothing but 15 degrees. They can ask you in your board exam, so that's why I'm doing the extra part as well. Okay, let's say 17th. Define the angle of elevation with a simple rough diagram. So angle of elevation as per the textbook or the simple definition, it is the angle formed between the horizontal line and the line of sight when observer looks upward. Okay, so simply for rough diagram I have mentioned, so this part is important. Draw a straight line draw one triangle like this. So here the observer is present here, okay, at point A, and what he is watching? He is watching point C, which is upward. Okay, so this angle is theta E, and we're using tan also. I can say that tan theta E, that is angle of elevation, is equal to BC by AP. Okay, and repeating this, what is angle of elevation? It is angle found between the horizontal line and the line of sight when observer looks upward. Same thing, if observer look downwards, then it is nothing but angle of depression. Okay, let's see 18th. A quadrilateral ABCD is drawn to circumscribe a circle. Then write the relation between its sides. The answer is easy. The sides are equal. Okay, so as this is 2 marks question, I suggest you to draw a parallel quadrilateral and then circumscribe a circle. So this becomes, first draw a circle and then draw quadrilateral like this. Now this is for 2 marks, or else simply saying sides are equal will be sufficient, but this is for 2 marks. Make sure to draw the diagram properly using scale and pencil. Okay, say that ABCD is a quadrilateral and it is circumscribing a circle of center O. Okay, let's move on to the 19th. Find the volume of a largest circular cone that can be cut out of a cube of 7 centimeters. Okay, so cube they have mentioned. Okay, cube is nothing but the 3D diagram where it has 6 faces of squares. Okay, and this is nothing but 7. So largest cone, it can be something like this, where the diameter will be exactly equal to the edge and the height also will be equal to the edge. Okay, so height of cone is equal to edge, which is 7 centimeters, and the diameter is of cone is also 7 centimeters. Diameter D is equal to 7 centimeters. If diameter is 7, what is radius? 7 by 2 centimeters. So what they are asking? Volume. What is volume of cone? Volume of right circular cone? Volume formula is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Let's substitute the values. 1 by 3 pi, they have mentioned any value? No, so I will take it as 22 by 7. What is radius? 7 by 2 into 7 by 2 into height, I got it as 7. So 1 7 7 gets cancelled out, 2 1s 2 11s. So the answer is 77 into 7. Okay, 49 into 11 I will do. 49 49, so it is 9 3 5 539 by 6. Okay, I can also write it into decimals. 539 by 6. Make sure to keep a box like this. Okay, I'm using the rough side little top because I don't have the place here, but make sure to do in the rough side for your end. Okay, 6 539, 6 8 48, 59, 6 9 54, 50, again 6 8 48. So it is 89.8 centimeter cube, because volume is always in cubic centimeter. Let's see 20th question. Write the formula to find the distance between 2 points. So they're simply asking the formulas. First one, distance between 2 points. The formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. What about second formula? Origin and point. So this is direct answer, which is root of x square plus y square. So each carries 1 mark. Okay, section 2 questions are all done. So I can say that section 2 questions with explanation, it took around 10 minutes to solve. Okay, because the questions are less, only 8 questions, and all are, I can say all are mostly straightforward questions. Okay, now let's move to the section C. And whoever are watching this video later, and if you have doubts, please do mention in the comment section. I'll definitely check and respond to you. Okay, I'll just also mention the same in the chat. For any doubts, kindly mention in the comment section. Let's move to the next one. Okay, section 3, we also have again 8 questions and each carries 4 marks. So total is 32 marks from section 3 weightage. Okay, let's solve one by one. 21st question. One card is drawn from a well shuffled card deck of 52 cards. Okay, calculate the probability that the drawn card will be an ace. Okay, for ace the probability is 4 by 52. Why? Because we total having 4 aces. So the total winning cases is 4 and the total cases are 52. So the answer is 1 by 30. Okay, as this is 4 marks, I'll write in detail. There's winning cases of getting ace card is equal to 4, whereas the total cases of getting any card is 52, hence the probability is 4 by 52. But this is not only the only question, they are also asking now create 4 such type of questions. So such type of question I can say 4 more. So I'll simply write probability of getting a 2. So here also same, the probability is 4 by 52. Why? Because we total having 4 2 cards. Same way, this is 1, they are asking 4 more, so I'll just write all one by one. So second, probability of getting a queen card. This is also 4 by 52. Why? Because we are having 4 queens. Okay, same as the last one. 2 more, so I'll write in next slide. Probability of getting a king. So here also answer is 4 by 52 because we are having 4 kings. The last one also write in the same way. Probability of getting a 6 card. This is also 4 by 50. We are asking same type of questions, so I'll just use the same criteria, that picking any card I got these answers. Okay, so I'm just repeating which I am solving in this video. So hi everyone, welcome you all to my channel, which is Power Tutorials. So in this channel I am explaining about maths and science topics, which is mostly for NCERT textbook, that is CBSE board. So CBSE board exam are recently done, and I also explained about one complete set along with answers. So if you want to check the solution of any set of CBSE board, you can check to my playlist or in the live section. There you can find all the questions with sections wise. Okay, but now this exam is done, and the AP board, that is Andhra Pradesh board state exam maths is coming nearby. I just want to have a model paper solution so that it will be useful for your board exam revision. Okay, so in this way I have started with the solution. Until now around 21 questions are done, and right now we are in the 22nd question. Okay, let's see this question. Write the formula to find mode of group data and explain the terms in it. So this is just the formula they're asking, and it is for 4 marks. Okay, so this is very easy question. So the mode formula is L plus F1 minus F0 by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. Okay, so they're asking the terms, so let's write one by one. L is the lower interval of modal class. So modal class is the one which is having the highest frequency. Okay, F0 frequency of preceding modal class F1 frequency of modal class and then we have F2 frequency of succeeding modal class and H is class interval difference. Okay, let's move to the next one. 23rd question. A solid is in the shape of a cone standing on hemisphere. So we have a hemisphere and we have a cone standing on it. Okay, with both of the radii being equal to 1. So radii of cone is equal to 1 and radius of hemisphere is also equal to 1. Okay, and the height of the cone is equal to radius, so height of cone is also 1 centimeter. Find the volume of solid in terms of pi. Okay, so the volume of solid is equal to volume of cone plus volume of hemisphere. So let's write both the formulas. Volume of cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h, whereas volume of hemisphere is 2 by 3 pi r cube, which is half of the sphere. Okay, so they have clearly mentioned r and h values are 1, so simply 1 by 3 into pi into 1 square into 1 plus 2 by 3 into pi into 1 cube. So 1 cube or 1 square both are same, so the answer is 1 by 3 pi plus 2 by 3 pi. So 1 by 3 plus 2 by 3 is nothing but 3 by 3, which is pi. So pi is the final answer. And the units, they mention centimeter. Yes, so the pi cubic cube is the answer. It's not only pi, because if the invigilator or the examiner is proper with respect to units, then make sure to write the units as well. Okay, so pi centimeter cube is the final answer. Let's move to 24th. Find the discriminant of the equation. So discriminant is easy. The discriminant d value is b square minus 4ac. Okay, let's substitute the values. B is minus 2 whole square minus 4 into a value is 3 and c value is 1 by 3. So this gets cancelled out. It is 4 minus 4, which is 0. So discriminant value is 0. What about other? Hence find the nature of roots. Nature of roots, if d is 0, then the nature of roots is equal to real and equal. Okay, nature of real and equal. So they're also asking the next one, find them. So we have to find them. So I can solve it using the quadratic equation formula, because that is easier if you already know the d value. So I'll simply write roots is equal to minus b plus or minus this value is 0. So simply minus b by 2 are the roots values. So minus b values how much? B, okay, I'll write the values. A is 3, B is minus 2, and C is 1 by 3. Okay, B is minus 2, substitute it. 2 into A value is 3. So 2 gets cancelled out. The answer is 1 by 3 are the roots of this equation. So therefore the roots are 1 by 3 comma 1 by 3. Make sure to write both the roots because it is a quadratic equation, so we will be having two roots. Okay, let's move to the next one. State 3 identities used in trigonometry. So it's a straightforward question. You can say this belongs to easiest question because sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1 is first identity. If I divide by sine, I will get 1 plus cot square x is equal to cosecant square x. The same first equation, if I divide by cos, I will get tan square x plus 1 is equal to secant square x. So if you remember first one, just divide this by cos, you will get this one, and if you divide this by cos, this by sine, you will get this. If you divide by cos, you will get this. Okay, these three are the three identities which we use in our trigonometry. Okay, let's move to the next one, 26th question. Write the following terms of AP and mention name the terms. Okay, name the terms in each. You have to write the formulas and also you have to mention what are the terms used. Okay, so nth term or an or tn, n formula is a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, first I will do one thing. Instead of writing the formula, first I will write the terms which are used for these three equations, then all three I can write directly. Okay, so first I will write, let us assume a1, okay, you can mention a1 is first term, n is the number of terms, d is common difference, and L is the last. Okay, now let's write the formulas. First one, an formula is a plus n minus 1 into d. Second, Sn. So here I will write a as a1 because I have clearly mentioned the first term as a1. Okay, second is Sn, sum of n terms. Now we have two formulas. I will write both the formulas. N by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. The second formula is n by 2 into a plus l, where l is the last term. So that's why I clearly mentioned all the terms here. Okay, and then we have the last question, which is common difference. D formula is an minus a n minus 1, where a is the nth term and n minus 1 is n minus 1 term. Okay, I'll write for this question here a nth term and a n minus 1 is n minus 1th term. Okay, let's move to the next one, 27th question. Prove that the parallelogram circumscribing a circle is a rhombus. Okay, this is, I can say, same question, but in the previous I think 2 marks question they haven't asked the proof. They are simply asking what the sides relation, but in this question they are asking with proof. Okay, so let's solve this. First take a circle, sorry. Draw a circle first, and then draw a quadrilateral like this. Okay, mark the sides A, B, C, and D. Okay, I'm marking the other points, which are P, Q, R, and S, which are the points on the circle. Okay, so here they are saying that ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. So if ABCD are parallelogram, what is the condition? Opposite sides are equal. So AB is equal to DC and AD is equal to BC. Opposite sides are equal. Okay, now let's see. So okay, B is the external point to the circle. Considering tangent property, I can say BP is equal to BQ, AP is equal to AS, DS is equal to DR, DS is equal to DR, RC is equal to CQ, RC is equal to CQ. Okay, so now what I will say is I will just add AB plus AD. Let's see what I am getting. If I add AB plus AD. So what is AB? AB is nothing but AP plus BP. AP plus BP, and AD, it is nothing but AS and DS. AS plus DS. So if you notice here, what I wrote, AP is nothing but AS. So I'll just replace that. Okay, so now what I will do is I'll just change BP as BQ. I have BP here is, so BP I will change it as BQ. So now let's see what is happening. BP, if I write it as BQ, and AP is anyway yes, so let's keep it as it is. BP I will write it as BQ. Small correction, it's not AB plus AD. Take addition of two opposite ends, not adjacent ends. Okay, so let's take the addition of AB plus DC. If you write AB plus DC, now what is AB? AP plus BP. AP plus BP. What about DC or CD? CD is DR plus RC. DR plus RC. Now just write the opposite. AP will become what? AS. BP is what? BP is BQ. DR is DS, and RC is nothing but CQ. Okay. Now if I write all this again, so I'll just rewrite it again. AS BQ, AS BQ, DS CQ, DS CQ. So AS and DS. AS and DS, if I combine, I will get AD. AS and DS I will get as AD, whereas BQ and DC CQ are nothing but BC. Okay, so now I got AB plus CD is nothing but AD plus BC. But in the parallelogram first edition, what is the statement I have told you? AB and DC are equal. AB and BC are equal, so I can simply write 2AB is equal to, same way AD and BC are also equal, so 2AB is equal to 2AD. So 2 gets cancelled out. I will get AB is equal to AD. So if two adjacent sides of a parallelogram equal, then the parallelogram is nothing but rhombus. As all sides are equal, the quadrilateral is rhombus. Okay, this I can say one of the difficult question which is mentioned in the question. It's not difficult, but the same type of question is already there in the NCERT textbook. But with respect to difficulty level, I can say little above when compared to other questions. Okay, let's see the 20th question. This is the last question from this section. By observing the graph, answer the following questions. What is the shape of the graph? The shape of the graph is parabola or U shape. Okay, second, how many zeros it has? It has 2 zeros because it is touching the x-axis at 2 points. So 2 zeros. What are the zeros? The zeros are minus 3, 4, and fourth one. What is sum of zeros? So just add these two, you will get 4 minus 3 plus 4. The answer is 1. So sum of zeros is 1. So answers are parabola 2, minus 3, 4, and 1. So around 1 hour it took up for me to complete all 3 sections, but I don't say to follow my speed and do faster, because the faster is not the criteria. The right answers is the right criteria to solve these questions. Okay, so make sure to take your time, but not take more time. If you get stuck in somewhere any question, make sure to leave some half page or something and go for the next question instead of wasting your time there and reducing your energy. Okay, so for this, not only for the exam, for any exam, if you feel that somewhere you're getting stuck, make sure to leave some gap and then go for the next question and come back after solving all those questions, because there are cases where the next question might be easier and last question you might be much confident to solve it, but if you're not giving time for that question, then definitely you will lose marks even though if you know the answer. So always takes only for some time for any question. If that question is not able to solve, leave some gap and go for the next question and come back if you have the time. Okay, so from now on we are moving to the last section, which is section 4, and from this section we have total 5 questions, and each section is having an option that either you can choose A or B. Okay, but in this video I'm going to explain both, because my agenda is not to solve the question by your own or get the marks. It's mainly to practice for your main exam, because this is just for revision. Okay, first one, 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Just for your answer. Okay, it is irrational, correct, but how to prove it? So for that I will prove first. Let's prove root 5 is irrational, and then I will solve this question. Okay, let us prove root 5 is irrational, because I can directly take root 5 is irrational, solve this question, but as this is for 8 marks, let's prove first root 5 is irrational. Okay, so first we have to assume root 5 is rational, and then we'll contradict the statement. So root 5 can be written in form of p by q, where p comma q are, or p comma q belong to R. P comma q are rational numbers, q not equal to 0, and this condition is important, p and q are co-primes. Co-primes are the one which does not have any common factor. Okay, now this becomes, if I do cross multiplication, I will get p is equal to q root 5. Let's do squaring on both sides. If I do squaring on both sides, I will get p square is equal to q square into 5. So p square is having a factor of 5. P square is having a factor of 5. So P is also having a factor of 5. Hence, I can write P is equal to sum 5a. Okay, so if I write P as 5a, what I will get? 5a whole square is equal to q square to 5. So 25a square, I will get 5q square, 5 ones 5 5s. So I am getting q square as 5a square. So here I can also getting q square is having a factor of 5. So q is also having a factor of 5. So which is contradicting our statement. So p comma q are not co-primes. So root 5 is irrational. Okay, so this is step 1, and mark it here, because they are not asking to prove root 5 is irrational. They are asking to prove what? They are asking to prove 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Okay, so now let us assume three plus 2 root 5 is rational, and then we'll prove it back. Okay, if 3 plus 2 root 5 is rational, then what is the condition? It can be written in form of p by q. So 3 plus 2 root 5 is equal to p by q. So just keep root 5 on one side and other values to other end. So this becomes p by q minus 3. Okay, this becomes p minus 3q by q to root 5. So root 5 is equal to p minus root 2 by 2q. As p comma q belongs to real numbers, p by 3 minus 3q by 2q is rational. P minus 3q by 2q is rational. What is the other condition? Root 5 from 1 is irrational. I have to say that. So our assumption is wrong. Assumption is wrong. That is, 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. So make sure to solve the entire steps because it is for 8 marks. If it is for just 2 marks, then you can simply say that root 5 is, we know that root 5 is irrational, hence the assumption is wrong. But it is for 8 marks, make sure to write. First prove root 5 is irrational and then prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Okay, let's move to the next one. So now we're solving B part. So let's AB and BC, sides AB and AC and median AD of a triangle ABC are respectively proportional to the sides PQ, PR and median PM of another triangle PQR, then show that ABC is similar to PQR. Okay, this is also same direct question from textbook. So you have two triangles, ABC and PQR. Okay, we have ABC, we have second triangle PQR. They're saying we have a median AD, we have another median PM. Okay, this is given. Now what they're saying, we have to prove ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Okay, so before that they already said that the triangles are proportional. The sides are proportional, then what they mean to say, they're saying AB by PQ is equal to second one AC by PR, AC by PR is equal to AD by PM. This I can say given in the question. Okay, now what we have to do is prolong AD to AE and PM to PN such that AD is equal to ADE and PM is equal to MN. Okay, now what the triangles have become like this. I'll draw it here. This is ABC. We have point D here. In this we have prolonged to E. Let's show in all this. What is the condition? AD is equal to D. Same way, just draw another triangle PQR. This is for 8 marks question, so definitely the answers will be lengthy, so don't feel that why it is lengthy and all. Make sure to use scale and pencil, okay, then all your diagrams will be look good for your exam. So we have P, Q, R, this is PM, that is PN. Okay, so now if you notice these two quadrilaterals AB, okay, right, in quadrilaterals A, B, E, C and B, P, Q, N, R, what is happening? Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. If diagonals are bisecting each other, why? Because bisecting each other, because D is the midpoint of BC and the same D is midpoint of AE. Same way here, M is the midpoint of PN and M is the midpoint of QR. Hence diagonals bisect each other. If the diagonals are bisecting each other, these are parallelograms. If they are parallelograms, then opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. So how I can say opposite sides means AB is equal to EC. AB is equal to AC. The second one, BE is equal to AC. BE is equal to AC. And for the second triangle, PQ RN. PQ is equal to RN, comma PR is equal to QN. PR is equal to QN. Okay, now let's see the ratio which I have written at starting. There is the ratio. Yeah, this one. Let's use this AB by PQ. So I'll just replace AB as EC, okay, let's write this equation again. AB by PQ is equal to AC. AB by PQ is equal to AC by PR is equal to AD by PM. So now what I will do is I will simply multiply AD into 2 and PM into 2. Now this equation becomes AE by PN. Why? Because D and P are the midpoints. Now consider the triangle ABE. ABE and triangle PQN. PQN. If you consider these two triangles, then I have AB by PQ. AB by PQ is equal to AE by PN. AE by PN is equal to the other sides, which are BE by QN. BE by QN. How? Why? Because AC is equal to BE and I'll write it here. AC is equal to BE and QN is equal to PM. Okay, is equal to AC, sorry, BE by QN. Okay, so using SSS similarity, I'll write it here, but write it below part. Okay, triangle ABE is similar to triangle PQN. Okay, I'll write it similarly. Triangle AEC is similar to triangle PNR. Okay, so both the triangles are similar. This part is similar to this triangle and this triangle is equal to this triangle. Okay, so now I want to say is what is the angle of ABSE plus angle CAE. So first I will write the second point. If these two triangles are similar, then angle BAE is equal to angle QPN. BAE is equal to angle QPN, same as angle EAC. EAC is equal to angle NPR. So if I add these two, if I say this is 3 and this is 4, if I add 3 plus 4, I'll get PAE plus ES is nothing but angle A, and QPN plus NPR is nothing but angle P. Hence, triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR using SAS similarity. Because A is equal to angle P, and we already have AB by BC is equal to AB by PQ is equal to AC by PR. Okay, write it neatly. AB by PQ is equal to AC by P. Okay, this is, I can understand this is lengthy, but for this type of question you have to write all the steps because it is for 8 marks question. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, just saw the comment that someone has mentioned the sound is not working. So let me check from which point the sound is not coming so that I can repeat those steps. Okay, from 30th question I can say that the sound is not proper. So I'll just repeat from 30th question once again. Hi Rakshit, thanks for letting me know. I'm sorry I didn't see your message later. So we'll continue with the 30th question once again and then we'll continue our next topics. Okay, so I'm just repeating the 30th question once again. So the 30th question, they're saying two students claim to have found the point of intersection of the lines joining A. A is 4 comma minus 1 and B is minus 2 comma minus 3 as follows. And the students are A student 0 comma 5 by 3 and 0 comma 7 by 3, and B student 2 comma minus 5 by 3 and 0 comma minus 7 by 3, they're saying, and we have to prove who is correct. Okay, so for this the point of trisection, A point is 0 comma 5 by 3, sorry, A point is 4 comma minus 1 and the D is minus 2 comma minus 3. Okay, so the point of trisection means you have to assume that the ratio is 1:2 for the first point, and the second point the ratio is 2:1. Okay, so the first point, the formula is mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. So the m is 1 and n is 2. So 1 into minus 2 plus 2 into minus 4. So 2 into 4 by m plus n, which is 1 plus 2. Same as for second point. Here 1 into minus 3 plus 2 into minus 1 by 1 plus 2. So this will get 6 by 3 comma minus 5 by 3. 6 by 3 is nothing but 2, 2 comma minus 5 by 3. Same as you have to do for the second point. M into, here the m ratio will become 2:1 instead of 1:2. Okay, so 2 into x1 plus 1 into x2 by m plus n. Same way do for second point, you will get the d value, which is 0 comma minus 7 by 3. So who is correct? The student B is correct and the student A is wrong. Okay, then we have moved to the B part, where it is saying with respect to sector question. Okay, the sector question, what they are saying, a horse is tied to a peg at one corner of a square shaped grass field of side 15 meters by means of 5 meters long rope. They are asking to find the area of part of the field in which the horse can graze, and increasing the grazing area of the, what is increase in the grazing area if the rope was 10 meters instead of 5 meters. So for this you have to use the sector formula, which is theta by 360 into pi r square is area of sector. If it is a square, so the angle, we already know what is angle of square, it is 90 degrees. Okay, just use theta as 90 degrees. You will get 90 by 360 into pi is 3.15, they have mentioned in the question. So pi into r square is, first we are using for 5 meters long rope, so just find it, and we got the answer as 19.625 meters square. Same way they are asking to increase the increase the length to 10 meters. So now it becomes theta by 360 into pi 3.14 into 10 square. So in this way I got the area of second condition is 78.5 meters square. Let's find the difference to get the increase in area. So which is nothing but 78.5 minus 19.625 which is 58.875. It's not 975, it is 875. Okay, it is 58.875 is the answer, which is nothing but the increase in the area when it increased from 5 meters to 10 meters. Okay, let's move to the next question, 31st question. This is related to chance, so this is a probability question, so this should be very easy, straightforward. Let's see what is the question. A game of chance consists of spinning an arrow which comes to a rest point at one of the numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 or 8, and likely the equally likely outcomes. Okay, calculate the probabilities that it will point at 8. First one, if it is pointing at 8, so the winning cases is 1, the total cases, okay, for 8 I'll write it. So always remember, for probability question, make sure to write both winning and as well as total cases. So for 8, the winning cases are only 1, whereas the total cases are 8, hence the probability is 1 by 8. Okay, second, odd number. What are the odd numbers? Odd numbers, P of odd, I will write it here. So what are the winning cases? Winning cases of odd numbers are 4. Why? Because we have 1, 3, 5 and 7. 4 are odd cases, and the total cases are 8, hence probability is equal to 4 by 8, which is 1 by 2. Okay, and see the third one, number greater than 3. For the number greater than 3, the winning cases are, we have 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the winning cases are 4 and the total cases are 8. Hence the probability is equal to 4 by 8. Again the answer is 1 by 2. The last one, a number less than or equal to 8. Less than or equal to 8. The cases are all numbers. Winning cases are 8 and the total cases are also 8. Hence the probability (8 by 8), which is 1. Okay, so for this the answers are 1 by 8, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and 1. Okay, let's see the B one. From a point on a bridge across the river, the angle of depression on the banks of opposite sides of a river are mentioned. If the bridge is at the height of 3 meters from the banks, find the width of the river. Okay, so for this we are saying that we have a bridge on a river. Okay, let's assume this is a bridge. This is the height of bridge. Okay, we have a river bank. This is river bank and this is a water. Okay, they're saying that some point on bridge. Let's assume this is a point and then marking the point as P. Okay, so from this point, the opposite ends of rivers, they're saying that 30 degrees and 45 degrees. So this is a small, so I'll take this angle of depression they have mentioned. Okay, so this angle is using this as 45. So if you consider this as a triangle, so this angle is 45. Same as if you consider the other end, this angle depression they're saying it as 30. So this angle is 30. Okay, this is the height of bridge. Okay, this they have already mentioned, the bridge is a height of 3 meters from the bank. So H they have mentioned 3 meters. So I will write this as PQR. This I will mark it as suppose A. Collect it as S, that will be PQRS. Okay, this angle is 30. So angle PQR is equal to 45 degrees and angle PSR is equal to 30 degrees. So you have to use the triangle to solve this. What they are asking, the width of the river. So this whole we need to find. Okay, so consider triangle. PQR, then tan 45 degrees is equal to PR by QR. Tan 45 is 1, so 1 is equal to PR by QR. Therefore QR is equal to PR. PR nothing but the height, which is 3 meters. Okay, second one, consider triangle PRS. Now we have the angle of 30 degrees. So tan 30 degrees is equal to PR by SR. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 is equal to PR is 3 and SR we need to find. So we'll get the SR as 3 root 3 meters. So the total width of the river is PR plus SR, QR plus SR. QR plus SR, which is 3 plus 3 root 3 meters, or simply if I take 3 as common, I'll get 1 plus 3 into 1 plus root 3 meters. Okay, we have 2 more questions. Let's solve them. Let's say 32nd question. A life insurance agent found the following data for distribution ages of 100 policy holders. Calculate the median age if policies are given only to persons having age of 18 years onwards but less than 60 years. Okay, to find the median or mode, what you have to do is you have to first draw a table and also write F and cumulative co-frequency, which is CF. So in this table I'll just change to vertical table. Make use to use scale and pencil, so that they have clearly mentioned in the question paper also, it should be neat. Okay, so to use scale and pencil, then you will definitely find the question as the table in neat instead of using freehand. So this I'll write CI, this is F frequency, and this is CF cumulative frequency. Okay, CI is what they are asking, it is below 20, so I will write less than 20, and then it is 20 to 25 to and 60. Okay, I'll write it smaller, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45, okay, 45 to 50, 50 to 55. Do one thing, let me change the table so that it will be, and just because the table is lengthy, so this, if I write in this way, that it will not be sufficient. Let me just change something so that it will be easy. Just remove this section for this question. Okay, now let's draw it again. Okay, these three are enough. Okay, what are those? Class interval, frequency and cumulative frequency. So the class interval, first one is less than 20, second is 20 to 25, third is 25 to 30, fourth is 30 to 35, next is 35 to 40, next 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55, the last one is 55 to 60. Okay, let's write the frequency values. 2, 6, 24, 45, 2, 6, 24, 45, 78, 89, 92, 78, 89, 92, 9800. Okay, these are not frequency values, these are cumulative frequency values. Okay, I will explain why it is cumulative frequency. Now we'll write f from this. Okay, because less than 20 they have provided is 2, but they are not saying that between 20 to 25 it is 6. The cumulative frequency till 20 to 25 is 6. Okay, now let's find frequency values. So it will be just subtract these two values. 6 minus 2 is 4, 24 minus 6 is 18, 45 minus 24 is 21, 78 minus 45 is 33, 89 minus 78 is 11, 92 minus 89 is 3, 98 minus 92 is 6, and the last one is 2. So just add all these values, you should get definitely 100 value, then only your calculation is correct, or else somewhere you made a mistake. Okay, let me just cross check. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 8 is 14, 14 plus 1 15, 15 plus 3 18, 18 plus 1 19, 19 plus 2 22, 22 plus 8 is 30. So here we will get 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, my calculation is correct. Okay, so for median class, or median or mode, what they are asking? Median. So for median, what you have to do is first find n by 2 value. So what is n by 2 value? N by 2 is 100 by 2, which is 50. So which median class or which cumulative frequency is having 50 in it? The answer is this one, because still here only 45 is getting covered, but 50 will cover definitely here. So this is the median class. Okay, so same type if they ask for mode, for that we have to take which is having highest frequency. So here also it is same, because this is having the highest frequency, so this is a modal class or median class, both are same here. But if in other question, if they are asking for mode, and in that question just check which is having the highest frequency, that will be the modal class. But here for median class you have to get first calculate n by 2 value and check which cumulative frequency is containing that n by 2 value, then that is nothing but median class. Okay, so here the median class we got it. I'll write it here. Median class is equal to 35 to 40 interval, and so L value is 35. Okay, what is CF? For calculating cumulative frequency, median, we have to do is cumulative frequency of preceding class. So you have to consider CF as 45. Write it here, preceding, cumulative frequency of preceding class. Okay, and then L we already have. H is class interval, which is difference 35 to 40, which is 5. Let's substitute the formula. Median formula is L plus n by 2 minus CF by F into H. So what is L value? 35. N by 2 we have it as 50. Cumulative frequency as told you preceding class, so 45 by F value. F value is the frequency of the median modal class, median class, 33, and the H value is 5. So we'll get 35 plus 5 into 5, which is 25. 35 plus 25 by 33. So 35, 33, 25. 7 3 is 21. 2 7 3 is 21. 231, and this becomes 19. 33 5 is 33 6. Let's see. 6 3 is 18. 1 6 3 is 18 plus 1 19. Okay, it is, I can say, closer to 0.76. Okay, so 35.76 is the median value. Okay, this is, I can say, a bit lengthy, but if you do the calculation proper, you'll definitely score 8 marks from this question. Okay, let's see B part. In a school, students thought of planting trees and around the school to reduce air pollution. It was decided the number of trees that each section of each class will plant will be the same as the class in which they are studying. Okay, example, section of class 1 will plant 1 tree. Okay, section of class 2 2 trees, very good, and so on till class 12. Okay, so you have 12 classes in this school. There are 3 sections of each class. Okay, this point is important. 3 sections of each class. So first class will have 3 sections. I mean, all sections will have the first, from class 1, how many plants? Class 1 will plant how many plants? 3 plants. Why? Because we have 3 sections. Same goes on and class 12 will plant 12 into 3, how much? 12 3 is a 36. So class 12 will plant 36. So this is an AP series where the common difference is 3. So the AP series is starting from 3, 6 and so on, and it will continue till 36. Now let's see what they are asking. How many trees will be planted by the students? So simply they are asking SN formula. What is SN formula? We can solve this question using both the methods, because I have the starting itself, so one of the question they are asking SN formula, so I will solve using both the methods here and I will prove that both are correct. Okay, so I will use first SN formula, which is n by 2 into 2a plus n by 70d. N is how much? 12 classes, so n is 12 by 2. 2 into a value is 3 plus n is again 12 minus 1, and the d is 3. Common difference is 3 because for each section 3 plants. Okay, 12 by 2 is 6. 6 into 2 into 3 is 6, and 11 3 is 33. So the sum of all the plants is 6 into 39, which is 9 6 54, 5 and 3 is 27, 32. 324 is the number of plants. This I have solved using n by 2 into 2a plus n by 70d. This is one formula, but as I told you, we have second formula. For that also I'll solve it, but in the question main exam no need to solve both the formulas. Okay, either one you can choose, but I want to show that both are correct. So n value is 12 by 2, a value is 3, l value is 36. So 12 by 2 is 6, 3 plus 36 is 39. So if you notice, it is the same, which is here also you got 6 plus 33, 6 into 39. Here also you got 6. How we got L value is 36? Because it is the last value of class 12. Class 12 means 3 sections. So 12 into 3 will get 36. Same, we got both the answers are same, which is 324 plants. Okay, so you can simply box this and say that 324 plants. Okay, let's move to the okay, this is the last question from our question papers. So I think around 2 hours I'm able to solve almost most of the questions, but in your board exam don't feel that you have to solve within 2 hours. Try to solve it around 2 hours 30 minutes, because last half an hour we can use it to just cross verify what are the calculations you have made. Okay, always target at least 30 minutes before the try to solve it, because if you solve the pattern which I have solved, you will definitely solve within around 2 hours 30 minutes, that is for sure. And if possible you can also solve in 2 hours, but I don't suggest you to solve in 2 hours. Target only for 2 hours 30 minutes you should be able to solve this question paper, and give at least 20 to 30 minutes to cross check your calculations, because during exam pressure there can cases that even a minus or plus or 2 into 3 somewhere you may have written as 4, there can be cases. So always make sure to have some buffer time so that you can reevaluate or recalculate what are the steps you have performed. Okay, let's see the last one. Draw the graph of the following pair of equations and find the solution from the graph. Okay, so for this I don't have graph sheet with me because I'm using PowerPoint to explain these questions, but I will explain till where and how to solve it using a graph sheet if you have it. Okay, so for first A part, x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0, and the second is 3x plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. Okay, so what I will do is I will just substitute x as 0 or y as 0 and get 2 points. If I keep x as 0, what I will get? 0 minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So the y value is 1. Same way, substitute y as 0. X minus 0 plus 1 is equal to 0. So I will get x value as minus 1. Y as 0, x as minus. So the points for the first equation are 0, 1. The second point is minus 1, 0. Same way, for second equation, again substitute x as 0, y as 0, you'll get 2 points, because this is a much easier way to get the points. Okay, we substitute x as 0. We substitute x as 0, I'm doing here. 3 into 0 is 0 plus 2y minus 12 is equal to 0. So the y value is 6. Same as if I keep y as 0, then we'll get 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. So the x value now it will become 4. So I got the another 2 points, which are 0, 6 and 4, 0. So hope you understood how I got these 2 points. So using a graph sheet, you have to just mark it, draw it using scale and pencil, and get the final answer. Okay, same way you have to do for second question. They're saying 5 pencils, 7 pencils together cost, and 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost this much. Find the cost of 1 pencil and 1 pen. Okay, so here let us assume cost of pencil and pen are x and y respectively. Then what it will become? It become 5x plus 7y is equal to 50, and the second equation is 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. Okay, you have to form the linear pair of equations. These are linear pair of equations, and find the solution using graphically. So here also, if you use x as 0 and y as 1, y as 0, I don't think you will get the proper points. So try to use factors of 7 and 5 together, which should be 35. Okay, so choose x as 7, you will get y value, and choose y as 5, you will get the second value. Okay, so I'll show you for 5x plus 7y equal to 50 how to get the points. So substitute x as 7. We substitute x as 7, I'll get 5 into 7 plus 7y is equal to 50. So 7y becomes 7 5 35. 50 minus 35 is 15. So we'll get the y value as 15 by 4. Okay, same way if I keep x as 5, what I will get? 5 into 5 plus 7y is equal to 50. So 25 plus 7y is equal to 50. So we'll get the y value as 25 minus 5 is 25 by 7. Okay, so this question you are getting as points instead of integer, so you have to check properly in the graph sheet and mark it accordingly. Okay, so it can be little closer values, because definitely I feel the answer is fractional for this. Okay, so 15 by 4 I can write in decimals as it will become 4 3s are 12, and then 20, 4 5s are 20. Okay, this is fine. What about here? 7 3s are 21, 40, 7 5s are 35, again 50, 7 7 is 49. It is somewhere 35 points, 3.6 is the value, and here it is 3.5 for x has 7 and x has 5. Okay, let's do one thing. Instead of closer values, yeah, it's not closer. If you take x as integers, then it will be somewhere. Okay, this is, so for this equation I got the points as 7 comma 3.5, and the second point is 5 comma 3.57. I will take it as 6. Okay, you cannot take that much closer in your graph sheet. Okay, let's solve for second equation. Also solve it. 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. So here if I take x as, I'll take it as, you can take it as 1 only. If I take x as 1, I will get 7 plus 5y is equal to 46. So I'll get the y value as 46 minus 7 is 39, 39 by 5. So it is 7 5 7 is 35, 40, 7.8 is the y value. So the first point is 1 comma 7.8. The second, if I keep x as 2, then it becomes 7 to 14. 14 plus 5y is equal to 46. So the y value becomes 46 minus 14 is 34, 34 by 5. So this it becomes 7 5 6 are 30, 5 is 40, 6.8. The second point is 2 comma 6.8. Okay, so just mark it in the graph sheet and draw the lines, and wherever it is intersecting, this is the solution for these two questions. Okay, so how to draw in graph sheet, I'll just give a small example. So suppose this is a graph sheet. Then first mark the x-axis, which is 1 2 3 and so on. Okay, same way, and each point will have 1 lines in between, so which are nothing but ones. So point 1, point 2 and so on. Okay, same way we have the y-axis, which is vertical lines. This is x, this is minus x, this is minus y. Okay, so these are plus y, 1 2 3. Same way this is minus x, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. Same way below is minus 5, which is minus 1, minus 2 and so on. Okay, so in this we have to form it, and wherever the points are this. So for first one I have 0 comma 1, minus 1 comma 0. So this I can easily say minus 1 comma 0 is this one, and 0 comma 1 is this one. So this I have a one line. Take a scale and pencil, you will definitely get one of this line like this. The second line is 0 6 4 comma 0. 0 comma 6 will be somewhere here on the top, and 4 comma 0 is here. So if I draw a line like this, it will get intersected at some point. Okay, so this will be somewhere. I had drawn with free hands. I'm not marking what is this point. So wherever this point is intersecting, that is nothing but the solution for this question. Okay, same way we have to do for second equation points as well, but here it is 3.5, 3.6. So make sure 3.5 will be somewhere exactly middle, and 3.6 also will be middle. Okay, so the y points. So one is here and one is here. So draw that, draw another line. So both the lines where they are intersecting, which is nothing but the solution. Okay, so just take a scale, draw this properly, and wherever these two lines are getting point, that is nothing but the solution. Okay, so hope you felt something useful from this video, and if you understood the solutions, please do like, and also do comment for any doubts related to these questions or any questions for your board exams. I will definitely check and respond to it, and if not, I can also create a separate video on these doubts. Okay, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching till the end. And currently I'm preparing science NCERT question paper, but I will try to get another questions, and if possible, if you have any doubts you can mention, or else my plan is the next live video will be on CBSE class 10 science paper. So I already covered biology MCQs, so in the next video I'll try to cover science paper chemistry MCQs. Okay, so thanks for watching, and please let me know your feedback in the comment section.